Welcome to the Must Leaders community. This is Minutes with Ruth, where we talk about leadership from a first generation lens. And I'm so excited to be with you today. Grab your coffee. Let's get started. My parents never read a leadership book, and I thought that put me behind. So today I want to talk to you about leadership and leaders in our lives that sometimes we don't recognize until after moments of impact happen. My parents never read a leadership book, not one. No seminars, no podcasts, no frameworks. And for a long time, I really believed that that meant I was behind. Like I showed up to a race and everyone else had been training for years. Well, I was just figuring out where the starting line was because sometimes we show up into spaces and we don't feel as confident because of our background. Because when you show up into leadership spaces, people sometimes are speaking a language that we didn't grow up hearing: vision casting, strategic alignment, executive presence. And I remember thinking, where do you even learn this? Because honestly, I had never heard it before. And it was not something that was talked about at my dinner table. But here's what shifted for me. My parents didn't read about leadership because they were living leaders every single day. My mom, she led by making something out of nothing. And that could be meals or that could be work. She stretched money, she stretched herself. So we never felt the weight of what was missing. That's leadership. My dad, he showed up every single time. I remember when I was very young, we were struggling for money and vitamins were a thing at the time. And I remember he started selling vitamins. Like he went door to door to sell vitamins. It wasn't easy, but he innovated and he did what he had to do to make a living, not when he felt like it, but every single day, especially when it was hard. And you know what? That's leadership too. They didn't have language for it, like the language that perhaps we're used to hearing in corporate America, but they had discipline, they had resilience, they had responsibility. And most importantly, they had this unshakable belief that my life could look different, that I could go further, that everything they were building was leading somewhere bigger than them. So yeah, they never read a leadership book, but they wrote mine. And if you're a first generation leader listening right now, I need you to hear this. Your parents wrote yours too. The problem is we've been trained to only recognize leadership when it shows up in corporate language. Yeah. But leadership doesn't start in boardrooms. It starts with sacrifice, with survival. It starts in moments that no one is clapping for. It then brings me to something I've been working through recently, because once you start stepping into leadership, something unexpected happens. Things get calm. And if you're anything like me, the calm can feel uncomfortable. Let me ask you something. Have you ever had a week where everything is going right? No fires, your work is on track, your team is good. And instead of enjoying it, you're waiting for something to go wrong. Yeah, grab your coffee and take a sip. I've been there more times than I want to admit. And I used to think something was wrong with me. Like, why can't I just enjoy this moment? Why does this peace feel suspicious? But then I realized something deeper. Growing up first gen, calm wasn't normal for me. Normal was pressure. Normal was urgency. Normal was figuring it out as you go because there was no safety net. Not for me. My parents constantly lived in survival mode. So naturally, that became the frequency I learned. So now, as an adult, when things are calm, my brain goes, this isn't right. You're missing something. Do more, because chaos feels productive to me. But calm feels unfamiliar. And there's the truth I'm learning right now. Calm is not laziness. Like I can sit down, I can have a coffee, and I'm okay. Calm is not lack of ambition. Calm is what good leadership creates. If everything around you is always on fire, that's not leadership, that's reaction. Leadership is building systems, people, and environments where things don't constantly fall apart, where things can actually run without panic. So lately, I've been practicing something that honestly feels uncomfortable. When things are calm, I'm not looking for problems. I don't create pressure. I just feel productive. So I take calm as a win for me because it's something I'm working through. And that's leadership too. I breathe, I sit in, even when it feels like it's uncomfortable for me or when it's foreign. Because part of breaking cycles is not just working harder, it's learning how to exist in something different. We didn't Honestly, we didn't come this far just to recreate the same stress our parents had to survive. We came here to build something new. And that's actually why I'm here today talking to you. I want to make a difference and I want to build something different for my daughter, for my son, and for those that are coming behind me. So here are three things I want to leave you with today. Number one, redefine what leadership looks like. You didn't start from zero, you started from a different model. Your parents may not have used corporate language, but they demonstrated leadership through consistency, sacrifice, responsibility. The shift is this: stop measuring your background against traditional leadership frameworks and start recognizing the leadership you were already raised in. You're not behind, you're translating. Number two, calm is not a threat, it's a skill. If peace feels uncomfortable, it's not because something is wrong. It's because it's unfamiliar. When you grow up around urgency and survival, your nervous system learns that chaos equals normal. So when things are steady, your instinct is to overwork, overthink, create problems. But strong leadership creates stability, not constant crisis. If everything is always urgent, you're reacting, not leading. Number three, you don't need a blueprint. You're building one. The doubt you feel, that's not a sign to stop. It's a sign you're doing something that hasn't been modeled for you before. First generation leaders aren't following a path, they're creating it in real time. Yes, we are, which means we don't always feel fully ready. You won't always have the answers. And that's exactly the point. You don't need permission to lead. Your experience already qualifies you. So move forward. If this helped you in any way, if you enjoyed this session, comment, subscribe, share, all the wonderful things. And we'll see you next time. This was Minutes with Ruth. I hope to see you soon. Adios.